Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishna Rupale Simate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinam Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Om Jnati Mirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshuru Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaya Dati Swapatantika Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaisnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sarvadotam Parijana Sanitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Visakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tattva Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavanishwari Visabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvya Echa Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Yeah, it's in the Facebook now. It's live now. Yeah. Should be there. Oh, not this one. I have another one.
Once I can put the
It
link
should
on
be
North
there.
America. I can put the link on the channel. Just send me a message. He's in office. He said, how come he's not live? I said, I'll ask him.
It is live now here.
Can you send it to me?
Let me see. What is this sound?
It's an air conditioner.
But I feel hot.
Okay, I will turn it on.
Huh?
I will turn it on.
No, what, is it on?
This one, air conditioner.
Are you feeling hot or cold? I'm feeling a little hot.
Okay, I will do
If it's if it's working,
it.
then
It is working.
maybe upstairs.
One.
Not here.
No, it's coming from that wind.
Are you feeling something?
Let's see, spoon,
I'm not feeling anything.
no, it is open. It should be coming. It's okay.
It's like in Vrindavan right now, it's so hot. Open it. And we have few air conditions and it is not working. It's just making noise. Well, I'm not saying the same thing. Um, hmm.
With your YouTube channel?
No. See, this one. You see, I'm live. See? B B period A period. Janardan Swami. There you go. Okay. Ah. Are you feeling okay? Yeah. Maybe it's my bodily constitution here, composition. We're all different. I'm Bata. That's that's why. You're Pita?
Huh?
Kappa Pita. Bata. You don't know? Pita. Your beta is like that, right? Okay. I'm going to read from the Bhagavad Gita as it is. If you have in your smartphones, the Bhagavad Gita, that'll be good. So you can follow. Yeah. But this is a very famous verse. Everybody knows this verse. This is the most quoted verse, one of the most quoted verses of Srila Prabhupada. Text 13 of chapter 2, contents of the Gita summarized. In the Bhagavad Gita, the whole episode uh, summarized in two chapters, chapter 2 and chapter 18. The perfection of renunciation. Yes? And chapter 2 also. 13, chapter 2. Dehinosmin yata dehe komaram yovanam jara tata dehantara praptir dhirastatra namuyate dehinosmin yata dehe komaram yovanam jara tata dehantara praptir dhirastatra namuyate dehinosmin yata dehe komaram yovanam jara tata dehantara praptir dhirastatra namuyate. Recite.
Tata dehantara prapti. Okay.
Yes? Tata.
Kumaram yavanam jara.
No, one by one, so we can follow you. Go ahead, the first line.
Kumaram yavana jara.
No, Dehino.
Oh, dehinosmi. Dehinosmi tata dehe.
Dehinosmin yata dehe.
Kumaram
No, you better, do you have it? You don't. Komaram yovanam jara. Give it to him. I thought you have it. You just Google. Veda, Gita Vase is free. You can have all of Prabhupada's books practically. You can put it in your. I'm giving you a hint now. Anand Prabhu. In your phone, put Gita Base and everything. Practically all of the books free.
Dehinosmin yata dehe.
Dehinosmin yata dehe.
Kovaram yavanam jara.
Komaram yovanam jara.
Tatha dehantara praptir.
Tata dehantara praptir.
Dhirastatra namuhyati.
Dhirastatra namuyati. Somebody else? Dehinosmin yata dehe. Komaram yovanam jara. Tata dehantara praptir. Dhirastatra namuyati. Dehinosmin yata dehe. Komaram yovanam jara. Tata dehantara praptir. Dhirastatra namuyati. Okay. Dehina of the embodied. Asmin in this. Yata as dehe in the body. Komaram boyhood. Yovanam youth. Jara old age. Tata similarly. Deha antara of transference of the body. Prapti achievement. Dhira the sober. Tatra thereupon. Na never. Muyati is deluded. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. As the embodied soul continuously passes in this body, from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change. Everybody, please repeat after me. As the embodied soul continuously passes in this body, from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. A sober person is is not bewildered by such a change. Purport. Since every living entity is an individual soul, each is changing his body every moment, manifesting sometimes as a child, sometimes as a youth, and sometimes as an old man. Yet the same spirit soul is there and does not undergo any change. This individual soul finally changes the body at death and transmigrates to another body. And since it is sure to have another body in the next birth, either material or spiritual, there was no cause for lamentation by Arjuna on account of death, neither for Bhishma nor for Drona, for whom he was so much concerned. Rather, he should rejoice for their changing bodies from old to new ones, thereby rejuvenating their energy. Such changes of body account for varieties of enjoyment or suffering according to one's work in life. So Bhishma and Drona, being noble souls, were surely going to have spiritual bodies in the next life, or at least life in heavenly bodies for superior enjoyment of material existence. So in either case, there was no cause of lamentation. Any man who has perfect knowledge of the constitution of the individual soul, the super soul, and nature, both material and spiritual, is called a dhira, or most sober man. Such a man is never deluded by the change of bodies. The Mayavadi theory of oneness of the spirit soul cannot be entertained, and the ground that the spirit soul cannot be cut into pieces as a fragmental portion. Such cutting into different individual souls would make the supreme cleavable or changeable against the principle of the supreme soul's being unchangeable. As confirmed in the Gita, the fragmental portion of the supreme exists eternally, sanatana, and are called shara. That is, they have a tendency to fall down into material nature. These fragmental portions are eternally so, and even after liberation, the individual soul remains the same, fragmental. But once liberated, he lives an eternal life in bliss and knowledge with the personality of Godhead. The theory of reflection can be applied to the supersoul who is present in each and every individual body and is known as the Paramatma. He is different from the individual living entity. When the sky is reflected in water, the reflections represent both the sun and the moon and the stars also. The stars can be compared to the living entities, and the sun or the moon to the Supreme Lord. The individual fragmental spirit soul is represented by Arjuna, and the Supreme Soul is the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. They are not on the same level as it will be appear apparent in the beginning of the fourth chapter. If Arjuna is on the same level with Krishna, and Krishna is not superior to Arjuna, then their relationship of instructor and instructed becomes meaningless. If both of them are deluded by the illusory energy Maya, then there is no need of one being the instructor and the other the instructed. Such instructions would be useless because in the clutches of Maya, no one can be an authoritative instructor. Under the circumstances, it is admitted that Lord Krishna is the Supreme Lord, superior in position to the living entity. Arjuna, who is forgetful soul, deluded by Maya. Dinos minyata dehe komaram yogaram jara ta dihantara pratyaya dhirastatra namuyate. So Srila Prabhupada would often quote or give class on this very, the first instruction coming from Lord Krishna about the nature of the soul. The soul is different than the material body that we are having right now. This material body is made of 8 material elements, 5 gross and 3 subtle. 5 gross. Bhumir apo nalo vayu kamano budir evacha ankara iti yame bina prakriti ashtida. Earth, water, fire, air, and ether. That is considered to be gross. Because you can touch, you can feel, you can smell. Unlike the 3 subtle elements, material elements, mind, intelligence, and ego, where is the mind? Is it on my elbow? Is it in my head? Is it in my feet? How about the intelligence?
In the memory.
Well, where is the intelligence? They said it's in the brain. How about the ego? The ego means the entity that identifies with the body. That means that the symptom of the soul is the ego. So that is the material body that is covering the soul. The soul is within this body. This is a very simple philosophy, but it's very difficult to understand. If we can understand this, Prabhupada says, then we can make progress in Krishna consciousness. The first teaching in the Bhagavad Gita is, you are not this body, or we are not this body. We are spirit soul. Jivera Soropoy, Krishnera Nityadas. We're all servants of Lord Krishna. So now, when we identify with this body, we think we're Indians, Americans, Filipinos, Hindus, Christians, Jews, Muslim. These are all bodily designations. Or I'm a Brahmana, I'm a Kshatriya, I'm a Sudra, I'm a Vaishya, I'm a Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas. These are all bodily designations. It's like a post, like a role that we have to play. So somehow we have to come to the conclusion and understand that we are not this body. Why? So that we become free from death, fear of death. Yeah, we become deathless. Well, the soul is deathless. The body will die. This is what I call absolute truth. No one remains here alive forever. We're all going to die. And when we die, according to Srila Prabhupada's purport, then the soul transmigrates to another body. And according to the scriptures, there are 8,400,000 species of life. These 8,400,000 species of life are there. Different. When we come to the point where we achieve a certain level of species of life, where we also have the consciousness becomes developed or covered up. And in the human form of life, we can understand the knowledge being taught in the Bhagavad Gita. This is our everyday book. I know many of us, we have Bhagavad Gita, but we are not so much fond of reading it. Our Guru Maharaj will always say, how many of you have Bhagavad Gita? And then he will ask, how many of you read it every day? Then everyone will raise their hands, I have Bhagavad Gita. Even Gorakhpur, Gita Press, Gita. But then when he will ask, how many are reading every day? So very few will read. It is essential to hear this knowledge every day. For Arjuna, it took him 45 minutes to understand. For others, it may take one lifetime, and others, it may take many millions of lifetimes. So this knowledge that we are not this body is presented by Lord Krishna because Arjuna, he does not want to fight. He was thinking that if I fight, what will happen to my kinsman? What will happen to my teacher, Drona Acharya? What will happen to my father, Bhishmadev? If they're going to be killed, what will be the next? Actually, Prabhupada, we've heard, they'll get spiritual body next life. All the kings, all the soldiers in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, they all attain moksha. Moksha means liberation from the cycle of repeated birth and death. That's why Lord Krishna is equal to everyone, even to the demons. The demons that's been killed by Lord Krishna, they also attain moksha. And what to say of the devotees who are very eager, lovingly, with devotion, trying to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead, what will happen to them? So now, these 8,400,000 species of life, they are starting from the aquatics insects, birds, mammals, plants, trees, human form of life. Uh, in human form of life, there are 400,000 species. Now we may say, oh, that's a lot. No, it's very small compared to the other 8 million. What is the percentage? It's not very much. But again, in human form of life, there are what you call civilized and uncivilized. The civilized, they're called Aryans. That must be the where how the country called Iran came from, Aryans. Because the whole planet 5,000 years ago, uh, they follow Vedic culture. Vedic culture. And somehow or other, there's also, during that time, there is one king, one emperor, Parikshit Maharaj. So, this knowledge that we are not this body is very, very important. Prabhupada gave an example, just like a child took birth and our body changes every time. The soul never changes because the soul is eternal. Says the soul cannot be cut into pieces, it cannot be withered by the wind, it cannot be wet by water, it cannot be burned by fire. And what is the size of the soul? It says the soul is 1/10,000 the tip of the hair. It's like, well, like now I have a very short hair. And the Matajis, they have very long hair. But again, if you have a little bit of the tip of the hair and then you cut it 10,000 times, we don't have the proper apparatus or instrument to see because it is spiritual. So, how the body moves? Because the soul is there. Who is seeing? Is it your eyes? Who is smelling? Is it your nose? Who is tasting the nice gulab jamun? Is it your tongue? Who is hearing the sound vibration when you chant the holy name? Is it the ears? No. Because this material body is dead. It's dead. Who is hearing and who is also receiving all of these different sensations that's being fed to our different senses? It is the soul. If the soul is not here in my body, I cannot speak with you. And you'll not be able to hear if the soul is not there in your body. If you're only the body, the material body, we'll not be able to communicate here. So the soul is the one who hears, is the soul who's seeing with the eyes. In Vrindavan, there is a temple called More Kutir. There was a painting there painted by a blind person. Radha and Krishna dancing like peacocks. How did he paint? How? He's blind. He cannot see. Actually, it was the soul. He can see from within his heart and he's able to depict. Seemingly impossible. Actually, sometimes those who are blind, they have greater sense of hearing and sense of smell. They have this. So now, what is more important? The body or the soul? It's the soul. But we have to utilize properly. Prabhupada says we should eat in order to keep the body and soul together. Sometimes, though, they can fast. I've read it. In India, there was this very, very, he's a mystic. So they tested him. They put him inside closed door. And He's like a yogi. So somehow or other, they tested him that there is this very, very nice pomegranate somewhere in Afghanistan. So they closed the doors, and somehow or other, he did not go out of the door or the room, and they were surprised. He was able to reach and get this pomegranate into that room. So, how did he do this? You've heard of mental telepathy, yeah? Or by mental telepathy, they can communicate even from the other room. So, the soul is very powerful. It's like it says that 10,000 times rising at the same time, the effulgence of the soul. Right now, because we're covered up, and especially for those who are in the mode of ignorance and the mode of passion, then they're not be able to understand the nature of the soul. Just like Prabhupada says, at least we should come into the mode of goodness. Then we will be able to understand this knowledge. The knowledge of the soul can be received from the sadhus, the spiritual master, and the sastra. Just like here, we're given information how the soul passes through another body at the time of death. But there is a change of the body from boyhood or childhood to boyhood to adulthood and then to old age. And after old age, death will be there. Prabhupada says everyone is old because we don't know when are we going to die. A person or a child who just took birth, if the child not be able to survive and the next hour died, that means that the child is already old. Prabhupada also says that old age starts at 70. Then when you reach 80, then you're already old. Then when you reach 90, then you're really very old. And then when you reach 100, then you are really very, very, very old. But actually, we're all old because death, what happens before death is old age. So, how we can understand not to take birth again is by understanding the teachings from the Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna he was put in the bodily concept, being a saintly personality and also a Kshatriya. That means a warrior, and his duty is to fight. Now, he having this quality of a saintly personality, he doesn't want to kill his grandfather or his teacher or his relatives. But Krishna says, don't worry, I've killed them all already. You just have to do your part. So we have to live our life in human form of life to become self-realized. Ultimately, self-realization is meant for human form of life, or human form of life is meant for self-realization. Because the lower species of life, the cats and dogs, they not be able to understand what we're talking here. We have to understand also not just only the soul is in this body, but also the super soul. The super soul is one of the aspects of Lord Krishna, the Supreme Absolute Truth. Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagavan iti Sabjate. The Supreme Lord, he has three aspects. The Brahman effulgence is like the sun's effulgence, the sun rays. What is the reflection? Where is the reflection of the sun? When we receive this sunlight, the sun is not the main source. Prabhupada says that the main source is the Brahma Jyoti. It's just being transmitted into the sun and then given to all the different parts of the universe. So this Brahma Jyoti is the effulgence coming from the form, transcendental form of Lord Krishna. Another aspect of Lord Krishna is the Paramatma, the super soul, who resides within our heart. Now that heart is not this mechanical or material heart that's pumping blood. The soul is a heart. Sometimes we say to a person who's like doing good deeds, well, that person has a heart of gold. You've heard of that before? Oh, that person is stone-hearted. Why is that? What does that mean? Stone-hearted or heart of gold? Our heart is not gold, but it's just like a matter of saying that he's a very good person. He's kind, he's compassionate, he's truthful, and so on. So the soul, it says that there is a tree. In the tree, there are two birds, the soul and the super soul. The super soul says to the soul, one bird saying to the soul, don't eat the fruit. It's not good. But the other bird, the jiva, that means us, well, I like it. I want to do it. So this is what you call minute independence, a free will. This is gifted. This is like a gem given by the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna to every living entities. We can choose not to do it, or we can choose to do it. We're talking along the way here in coming here. Why is it that others are super rich? Huh? Like a Musk, Elon Musk, or Jeff Bezos, or Tata, huh? Or Ambani. And you'll see also in Mumbai, why is it that others, they don't have a place to sleep? Why is that? Because somehow or other, from the past, those who seems to be very rich right now, they must have done some pious activities, like feeding the poor, or feeding the hungry, giving shelter to the poor, building hospitals, and so on. And others, they misuse their minute independence, even though the super soul says, don't do it. Don't do it. This is not good for you. So because of their minute independence, they're not able to follow. And therefore, the result is what you call karma. Karma. Why is it that we are here today? We're talking about Bhagavad Gita. I'm sure in different parts of Virginia or Baltimore area, Washington, D.C., someone is also reading Bhagavad Gita this evening. But what is the percentage of that to the whole population? Very minimal. This is free will. You came here because you knew that there'll be a discussion of Bhagavad Gita. You want to have sadhu sangha. So these are the different ways how we can associate with each other and understand more about this knowledge. It is the Paramatma who told all of us we should be here today. It is the Paramatma. So the more we purify our senses, that means utilizing our senses in order to become pure. It's like to chant more Hare Krishna, to read more the subject matters of the absolute truth, to have association of the devotees, to eat only Krishna prasadam, to go to the mandir regularly, to read Bhagavad Gita and Shrimad Bhagavatam every day, This will help us to become more and more pure. That means our heart will become more and more cleansed. Our contamination from Maya, being in Maya, Prabhupada used the words here many times, being deluded by Maya at least twice. This is the illusory energy of the Supreme Lord. Maya's duty, Mahamaya, is to bewilder us. Or another function of Maya is to bind us, to not let us get out of this material world. And she is a pure devotee of the Lord. She's doing her seva perfectly. And that's why she's a little embarrassed to see Lord Krishna face to face. But she's doing her job very good, very, very good. However, if we're able to convince Maya Devi, that means Durga, she is the personified Maya illusory energy, then she will release us. She will release us in such a way that we will not take birth again in this material world. And that is the purpose of the human form of life. That is the purpose why we are always engaged in hearing and talking about this. A very good example is our Guru Maharaj. He lived his life in such a way that he never get tired of speaking about this knowledge. Same following in the footsteps of his Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada. I'm gonna read some quotes from Srila Prabhupada based from his purports also. He says, the body is temporary, subject to birth, death, disease, and old age. Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi. That's from the 13th chapter. But because the soul is eternal, Nitya Sasvata Yam Purano, it is not going to be killed at the time of death. From our Guru Maharaj, he says, let me see that. The world teaches us that we are Indians, Americans, male, female, young, old, but all these are bodily designations. We have forgotten that we are spirit souls, parts and parcels of Krishna. This forgetfulness is the disease. So it is a disease. So he says that we need to revive our eternal identity. And what is our identity? As Krishna's servants, by chanting Hare Krishna and hearing about Krishna. And Guru Maharaj, he stressed so much about regular sadhana, especially rising up early in the morning, chanting Hare Krishna, hearing about him. Oh, Hare Krishna. There you go. Association of devotees and practicing detachment. Now, what is detachment? Vairagya, being renounced. Being detached is not only for the sannyasis. The grihastha life is a platform, it's an ashram, it's a spiritual platform whereby one should learn ultimately to become detached. And Srila Rupa Goswami, he mentions that real detachment is using everything for Krishna's service. Because why is it that we have to become detached? Because we're attached with this body. That is the problem. That even at the time of death, we don't want to die. We want to remain. That's why in India, if a person died nighttime, The next day by noon, one has to be cremated. Yes? And if a person died in the daytime, by the end of the day, he has to be cremated so that we will not become so attached to this body that we want to. If the body is not there anymore, then where is it? Why is it that you want to come back again? In the Garuda Purana, there is a description of the soul's journey to Yamaraj, whereby at the time of death, if a person is sinful, then he will be dragged by the Yamadutas. The Yamadutas, they are the agents or servants of Yamaraj. Hmm. Even, is, even if one is in the mode of goodness, still he will be dragged. Hmm. What about Yudhishthir Maharaj? Because he told a white lie. Yeah? Asvatam, the elephant, is dead. Who told him to do that? Lord Krishna, to establish the principles of religion. And what it says, he was given a choice, right? He went first to the hellish planet or something for lying, and then he went to Vaikuntha. So everyone will meet Yamaraj except the devotees of the Supreme Lord, because it says, like the story of Dhruva Maharaj, that the airplane sent by Lord Vishnu along with the Vishnu Dutas, they also came to pick up Dhruva Maharaj. How about Ajamil? We're talking about the Ajamil, yeah, on the way here. Ajamil, he had a heart attack actually. He did not die. He had a heart attack. And because even at the age, old age, 90 plus, he had a son and he named his son Narayana. Now, because Narayana's name is spiritual, it's like in India, they will do that, give the child, the newly born child, some of them they will give spiritual names. Some of them they'll give a very mundane name like Pinky, Rosie, Zooey. Elon Musk gave his son name X. Yeah, he wants to be different. But that is the fact of life. We're just talking about the fact of life here. So Ajamil, he became externally sinful. He would steal, he would rob a person, all the sinful activities, while at the same time, he became so attached to his son, and he's calling him always Narayana, 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 that when he had a heart attack, as if he's going to die, somehow he remembered also Lord Narayan while calling. And therefore, he was saved by the Vishnudutas. So, what we're trying to get across here is that as much as possible, we should utilize this human form of life to use properly our free will, our mind of independence. Hearing from the Bhagavad Gita, Shrimad Bhagavatam, and other Vedic literatures is very good. But more important is the application of this knowledge. If we apply this knowledge to our everyday activities, then we will become free from so many misgivings. Hmm. Hare Krishna.
Came from temple service.
Jai. All glories. Yes. We should always remember that I'm an eternal servant of Lord Krishna. I'm the servant. I'm not the servant of my senses, nor I'm not the servant of my wife or my husband or my children. There is what you call attachment and affection. Two things. Yes, we should be attached to our family, but not so attached that they will drag us more and more in this material world. Along with being attached to the family members, Krishna should be the center. Then it becomes affection. You see the difference now? Affection should be there, love. And love, Prabhupada says, love only applies to Lord Krishna. So in the family, if Krishna is in the center, then love is there. If Krishna is not the center, then it is only what you call Griha Medi. Griha Medi means, yeah, we enjoy together, we're all happy materially, fine. We're all going to take birth again in this world. So, a purpose, especially in the human form of life, is to become self realized. We should become free from the bodily designation, and in this way, we will not be affected either in joy or sorrow, either in fame or infamy. We're not going to be affected because of this understanding that we are not the body, we're spirit souls. And again, it says here, Guru Maharaj says, true happiness comes from spiritual connection with Krishna. If we misidentify that we are the body, then I must enjoy sense gratification. The opposite of that is that my happiness is depend on how I please and make Krishna happy along with my family. Then the result is that we're not going to take birth again. Srila Prabhupada says, this body is a lump of matter. The real person is the soul within, and that soul is part and parcel of Krishna. Real knowledge means to understand this. So again, there is what you call Gyan and Vigyan. Knowledge, that is theoretical knowledge. But what is more important is Vigyan, the application. That's why in ISKCON we have now Bhakti Shastri, studying systematically Srila Prabhupada's books, the Bhagavad Gita, Nectar of Instruction, Shri Ishopanishad, Nectar of Devotion. Guru Maharaj says, when we realize we are not this body, insults or honors become meaningless. We only care whether Krishna is pleased. To the degree we realize our spiritual identity, we are free from fear, anxiety, and lust. And ultimately, we become free. Especially the most fearful moment is at the time of death. And our Guru Maharaj, he exemplified that he has no fear of death. That he's ready to leave his body any place, anytime, in any circumstance. It's like Bhishma Dev. Bhishma Dev, he can choose the right moment when he will leave his body. And he chose to leave his body in such a way that he'll be able to have darshan of Lord Krishna. Fortunate are those devotees who reach that platform where they'll be able to be fearless, knowingly that they will go and meet Lord Krishna after death, or even before at the time of death. What to say, the materialist Or an atheist, they'll be also being very, very fearful at the time of death, not knowing, they don't know what what is going to happen to them after death. Hmm. So we should prepare for that moment by understanding first and foremost, we're not this body. But again, understanding we're not this body is good enough, not good enough. Prabhupada says in the Bhagavad Gita, we have to act in the soul platform, spiritual platform. Hear more, chant more, and become more and more Krishna conscious. We have to understand the soul will never die. The soul will go on in the next body, either material or a spiritual body. If it's material body, we can go to the Swargaloka, or one can degenerate, that means downgrade, into lower species of life. But who wants to be in lower species of life? Sometimes I've been asked, Maharaj, oh, is it okay to have good karma? That's a good question. I says, no. Good karma is also bad karma. In this world, there is nothing good and nothing bad. Everything is bad. It's only our mind's perception that this is good and this is bad. Actually, everything is bad because this place is a place of Dukalayam Asashvatam. There is no happiness here. There is no life that can give us an eternal life, only in the spiritual world. So, again, somehow or other, we have to practice and always think at every moment that I am not this body, I'm spirit, soul, and my aim is only to please Krishna. And whoever is within my circle of influence, if I can help them to become Krishna conscious, I will do my best. But first of all, let me be Krishna conscious myself. I gave this example, just like in the airplane when you go traveling, the stewardess will show us how to use the oxygen mask. Yeah. What is the first thing that one should do if you have a child near you? You put the mask first. Yeah. Then you put the mask to the child. Because if you put the mask to the child first, then you may not be able to live. Both of you will be able to live. So, as much as possible, try our very best in this lifetime to go back home, back to Godhead by applying this knowledge coming from Bhagavad Gita, which starts the knowledge of we are not this body, we're spirit souls. And we can do that. It is possible. Prabhupada was once asked, how long will it take for one to go back home to Godhead? Prabhupada says, within a moment. We should search to have that association of those who are more advanced than we are. And the more we associate with them, how we associate with them, we serve them, we inquire submissively. And because they have realized the truth, they can impart the knowledge which can help us more and more again to become Krishna conscious. So I will stop here now and ask if there is any question. I know you're going to have another work day tomorrow, so I'd like to end it shorter. It's already 8:30. However, if you have any question, please do so. You can ask. We'll try to reply. Yes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
So you said that everyone who dies.
Is there a microphone? Very good.
He's prepared.
Right.
Hare
It's
Krishna
just
Maharaj.
this No problem. Yes.
So-
I will.
You said that everyone who dies, except devotees, regardless of even if they're in the mode of goodness, they
Yeah.
all go to Yamaraj's abode.
Yes.
They,
One
but what
Yamaraj
they've
is.
done with these, they still go there and then it's determined and then they go.
Yes, yes. Garuda Purana says that the soul will be brought there by the Yamadutas, and he will be asked, uh, "You want to see what happened in your whole life?" And he will be given a chance to witness before the judgment, because one can deny, "I did not do that." "Oh, you did this. Yeah, yeah, you did this." "No, no, no, I did not do that." So he will go back. It's like a movie is being shown from birth till he died. The whole sequence. Then he'll be brought back again. And then he will be asked, "So now, do you remember what you did?" And you cannot deny because it's right there.
Now, what if someone is not an initiated devotee, but when they left their body, they died hearing the holy name of the Lord. They heard the chanting of the Mahamantra. Where do they go then?
Where do they go? They have to come back and take initiation.
If they actually died hearing the holy name.
They
Like
have
they don't
to,
go to Pitra?
they have to take initiation. No one goes back to Godhead without getting initiated,
So,
because it is the guru is like a bridge. It's like, here, we were in Baltimore, so there is a park where our Guru Maharaj used to go for a walk. So there's a creek and there's a bridge so that you can go to the other side. So the spiritual master is the bridge, is the via medium, that in order for us to officially be accepted by Lord Krishna, we cannot go to Krishna without the Guru, without the spiritual master. That's simple. Even if you hear the holy name, because it's not good enough, because you have to chant purely the holy name, and the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra must be received from a bona fide representative, spiritual master, coming from disciplic succession. Chanting Hare Krishna will lead you to accept the bona fide spiritual master.
okay, so, but if you're initiated, then Yamaraj does not come for us then.
You still have to chant purely the holy name.
Of course, but if we have, and we still have to come back,
Huh?
then if we're initiated disciples.
You have to chant the holy name purely. Bas.
Yes.
No more speculation. If. Everything is there. If you chant the holy name purely, you don't have to come back. That means if you don't chant the holy name purely, you still have to come back to chant the pure Sudanam.
Okay, so suppose just in case we have to come back to chant the holy name purely, we little distractions here and there. Then what happens? The devotee goes to Yamaraj's place, or the
No, don't ask this question.
No?
It's irrelevant. Why? You want to go back there or you don't want to go back there? To Yamaraj.
No, I want to chant purely.
So you chant purely. Why you, if? What does it make any difference to you? Just chant purely the holy name. That is the message. It's irrelevant. Your question is irrelevant. I'm sorry. Why? You want to be sure that you don't come back there to Yamaraj to see Yamaraj? Then you chant the holy name purely. That's simple. Does it make sense, Anand Prabhu? You want to see Yamaraj? So chant purely then.
Okay, but I do have, this has always been on my mind. We hear about, like, Westerners or people who have an out-of-body experience, they leave their body,
Mhm.
and then they see this white light. Is that the Vishnu Dutas? What is that
No,
you hear about
no,
people talking about?
no. That is their interpretation. We only speak what the Shastra says. Prabhupada, he was giving a class, and one of the students, newcomer, says, Swamiji, when I chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, I'm seeing white light. Prabhupada says, don't worry, continue chanting Hare Krishna, it will go away.
This was in New York.
Yeah, it was in New York in the early days. Yeah?
Thank you.
Yes. There was a student, because Prabhupada says, don't live like cats and dogs. And then one student, this was in the university, he raised his hand, Swamiji, what's wrong with being a cat or a dog? And Prabhupada says, I give you blessings, you become a dog. This is our misconception. I've seen during our japa walk, oh, really nice dog. The dogs are like, they probably eat better than the homeless people in Baltimore, in East Baltimore. They probably have air conditioned, maybe water bed, who knows? Is that good? No, because they don't have the chance to understand the Bhagavad Gita. They don't have chance to hear the holy name. That's why when we go for jump a walk, I will shout to the dog, "Go Ranga!" Maybe that will be the last time that they will hear the holy name. And then the dog, the owner of the dog, when I say "Go Ranga," it's like as if I'm greeting them, "Good morning." So we should give every chance to give Krishna consciousness to anyone and everyone. Carry some books with you. When you go shopping to the Patel Brothers, there's a Patel Brothers store here. Hey, here's a nice book for you. Come to Potomac or come to Baltimore. The more you give Krishna consciousness to others, the more you get closer to Krishna. That is our goal. Yeah? So, yeah, life is short. We don't know what's going to happen next. Some people, they don't even wake up the next day. Yeah. In the Bhagavatam says that we should live, when we wake up, we should think that this could be my last day. So if this is my last day, what shall I do? So that if even if I don't survive by the end of the day, I should live, I should think more about Krishna favorably. But how many are thinking that this could be my last day? Yudhishthir was asked by Dharmaraj, what is the most amazing thing in this world? And his reply was, the most amazing thing in this world is that you've seen your relatives died. You've seen your friends died. You've seen your loved ones died. But I never think that I will going to die. And that is amazing, isn't it? Who is thinking that, in the early morning, as soon as we wake up, that this could be my last day? So we should be always chanting. We should be always remembering Krishna. But Maharaj, how can I think of Krishna? I'm working 9 to 5. I'm always in front of the computer. I have my patient. I have doing this, doing that. How can I remember Krishna? Well, you can remember Krishna in many ways. Keep chanting. If you have that opportunity that it is allowed to hear Prabhupada's words, lectures, or remember what you've read in the morning before going to work. That's why it is advised to read a sloka from Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam. We have a saying in ISKCON, a sloka a day keeps Maya away. It's like the doctors, they have, an apple a day. What? Keeps the doctors away? Something like that. Is it true? An apple a day. Yeah, an apple a day. But we have sloka a day. You can memorize a sloka and during the whole day memorize and remember the meaning. Or if you've been to the holy places like Vrindavan, Mayapur, Jagannath Puri, Dwarka, Kurukshetra, these are all holy dham. Remember the spiritual energy, the vibration, spiritual vibration that you felt over there. Carry it with you wherever you go. Then you're Krishna conscious. Remember this evening what you've learned, what you are taking away with you, the knowledge that we discussed. That is Krishna consciousness. Then we are not going to see the Yamadutas at the time of death. Any other points or questions? Yes? Hold on, Matuki.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you for the enlightening lecture. My question is, Maharaj, is like soul is conditioned in the body,
If, what?
and soul gets conditioned in the body.
Yeah.
So however, soul has all the senses.
No, the soul is not conditioned in the body. Is the soul who's misidentifying the body as the self. The soul is untouched. The soul, again, it cannot be wet by water. It's untouched. But because of misidentifying the body as a self, then it becomes conditioned. Okay?
So associated question is like just like a person is dumb or not able to hear, but soul has ears.
Yeah.
So why it
That's
gets
karma.
affected?
That's karma. Karma. But you can read Bhagavad Gita even if you're blind. How? Braille. We have Bhagavad Gita printed in Italy. Braille, Braille? You can read. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. They have. Yeah. It's karma. As there are 8,400,000 different species of life, there are also 8,400,000 different desires that one can have. I was reading the other day, they did a study, a person can have 22,000 desires in one day. That is crazy, isn't it? Maybe you can count. We can count. We can have a notebook, a journal. How many desires did I have today? We may do many, many activities, but in the long range, if our desire is to be Krishna conscious, then that is wanted. Yeah? Okay. Did you hear what I said? What did I say? Yeah, you become distracted now. Yeah. We may have, Hare Krishna, you can turn it off. Turn that off, that one. It's off, so you can turn this on. Okay. You may have many, many activities during the day, but our only desire is only to please Krishna. The problem here is that we have many, many activities and we have different desires for my own benefit. That is the difference now. Okay? So that's why one can have 22,000 desires. And we should only have one desire. And that is possible only to please Krishna or please his representative, the spiritual master. That is ideal. There's a question here. No more sound?
I think the battery
What
is
happened?
dead. Battery went down on this.
All right.
Wireless.
No problem. I can speak louder. Can you hear me from the back?
Yes, yes, yes.
One devotee from the Philippines, because I broadcast live. Is it possible that a soul can come back again to the original body after a death occurred? Nope. Nope. But sometimes there's what you call near-death experience, NDE. So you're not dead really. It's temporarily, maybe the breathing stopped. If the breathing stopped, but then the heart still working, that means the person is still alive. Is that correct, doctor? Okay, we're here. Sometimes maybe the breathing is very faint that you may say, oh, he's dead already. But the heart's still pumping. Is he dead or not? He's still alive. This is what happened when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to see Lord Jagannath in Jagannath Puri temple. Everyone thought that he's dead. He fainted. Jai, always ready, doctor. Get everything here. Okay. Very good. Thank you. So when he saw Lord Jagannath, he fainted. So, unconscious. It's like being in a coma or something. But Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya to check whether he's genuine, because this is one of the symptoms of one who's love of God. So he put some cotton fiber near the nostrils, and one can see there's a very slight movement, because when he took the pulse, there is no pulse. So in this way, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he concluded that he is still alive. So no, once we're dead, we're dead. Cannot come back anymore in this body. Soul is gone. Stop, especially when the heart stop beating. No more heartbeat. Then person is not there anymore. Am I correct, doctor? We have one of the best doctors here. No. No. Any other question? You have a question? I thought you. Oh, Mataji, yes.
I noticed for Guru but he said that chant purely, right? Chant purely, but I don't think I need that chanting purely position at all.
Okay. Can you repeat that? I'm hearing more this sound.
Yeah, you can read it. No, no, it's not a video. It could be that I heard this much like Mataji is saying like we should chant.
Can we turn this off a little bit, sir? I'm sorry. This is like more noise than.
No, I got it.
This is the last question. What is it again? Ask what she said.
Metal game. It's okay.
I cannot.
We say, our glory to our Guru Maharaj, it's emphasized everywhere. All devotees, everybody says, chant purely.
Chant purely.
I don't know, I have reached even to that kindergarten age.
Huh?
Even though I am devotee of Guru Maharaj, everything, I feel I haven't reached totally chant purely.
position.
You have not reached that, but you are trying.
I'm trying every day.
So that is good enough.
I'm trying because I have a Rukmani Bharkadish in my temple and Radha Madan Mohan. I try to bring them all the time when I'm chanting, but still
Yes,
they run
yes.
away from me.
Prabhupada says chanting is easy, but chanting without any offenses, attentively, purely is difficult.
That's
So
what
at least if we are trying to chant purely, that means we're almost there. And hopefully, by the time that we leave this body, we will reach that level of pure chanting.
Hare Krishna.
Yes. It's better, you see, in the beginning, our chanting may be mechanical, but we should not remain in that mechanical platform. If we are trying, that is more than good enough. Yeah. Prabhupada says like having a plane ticket as if we already reached there. But we still have to go to the airport. Now we may have like a flat tire on the way to the airport. So everything should be ready. Everything should be paka. That you don't leave anything behind, especially your passport. You may reach the airport, but then you forgot the passport, and then the plane is gonna go in like in an hour and a half or 60 minutes. It's closing time. Then you miss it also. So we should be ready, and all of this readiness means strict sadhana, associate with the devotees, read Shrimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, eat only Krishna Prasadam, all of these things. Then we will be equipped to reach our destination. Mm-mm. That's why Sangha like this is very important to remind us. How many times you've heard this verse? We're not this body. Prabhupada will give each and every class always saying, we're not this body. We're spirit soul. And still, we are forgetting it. How many times? So I thought to remind me also this evening, that's why I chose this verse. Because it's very easy to forget. Mhm. Mhm. So we stop here now. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
In spite of your very busy schedule, you somehow came this evening. I'm very
Thank you. Thank you.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Tavo Sitanath Pramanande Hari Hari Bol. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna.